Hello, this is Mr. Price here, and this is your homework on mixed grade 1 questions for your GCSE revision. Okay, I'm going to go through each set of questions in a fair bit of detail and fast forward the ones that you think you're okay with. Okay, let's look at question 1. I want to write down the number 45,273 in figures. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my place value tables. So I've got units, then tens, then hundreds, then thousands, then tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, then millions, and I'll just put in the next one tens of millions as well. Okay, so there's my place value table. And the first question asks me for 45,000. So here's my thousands column. I can't put two numbers in here. So to get 45, the 40 is the tens of thousands. So the 4 is the tens of thousands. The 5 is the thousand. And I've got 200, 7 tens, and 3 units. Here's my number, 45,273. Next question wants 2.5 million. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my 2 in the millions column. So there's my 2 in the millions column. I now want another 500,000. So I know that 500,000 is going to be 2 sets of 5 in this column here. Okay, because I've got 2 of these, that will make one whole of these. So I've got 2. And this 5 represents the 500,000, and then everything else are placeholder zeros. Okay, because I've got no tens of thousands, no hundreds, no tens, and no units. Okay, so if I was to double this number, I would get one of these. Okay, number 3. Write the number 1.75 million in figures. So I want 1 million, so 1 in the millions column, and then I want 750,000. Okay, now this one's a little bit trickier, and the best way to describe this, if I do a little circle, and this represents 100%, the whole thing is 100%. If I split it in half, I've got 2 50%. If I split it in half again, each one of these represents 25%. So another way we can think about it is that each of these needs to add up to 1 million. So I've got 250,000, 500,000, 750,000. So I need 700,000, 5 tens of thousands, and then no thousands, no hundreds, no tens, and no units, because each of these are worth 250,000. So 3 of them is 75,000. Sorry, 750,000 I mean. Okay, and that's that one. Now let's have a look at question 2. I'm asked to find the value of the 7 in the number 3,752. Now, I can see that the 7 is in not the units or the tens, it's in the hundreds column. So it is 7 hundreds. For B, the value of the 2 in this number is in the tens column. So it is 2 tens or 20. So 2 tens, stroke, even better answer, 20. Question C. Write down the value of the 2 in the number 1253549 or 1,253,549. So it's if I write this in my place value here, so 9 at the end, then the 4, then the 5, then the 3, then the 5, then the 2, then the 1. So the 2 is in the hundred thousands column. So it is worth 200,000. And that's question 2. Okay, question 3. Put these numbers in order starting with the smallest. So, if I think of a number line, I'll do a very small number line here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Okay, so the smallest numbers go this way, and the biggest numbers go that way. So the furthest number to the left is negative 7. It's not on here, but I know it's going to be all the way down there. So negative second is the smallest. My next smallest will come up to negative 2 here. So negative 7, negative 2. My next smallest is next to that, negative 1. And then we get to 3. And then 10. Okay. This one, same principle. The very furthest number down here. Observe how these numbers look like they're getting bigger as we go this way, but they're actually getting smaller, so just watch out for that. So the number smallest, the furthest to the left, is going to be negative 61. Then negative 42. Then negative 14. Then 65. Then 83. Okay, now we're starting to get to decimals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some place value again. So I need units, decimal point, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, tens of thousandths, etc. I'm going to write down my numbers. So I have 2.01, 2.45, 2.14, 2.006, 2.405. Now, if I extend this a little bit further down, you know you've got tens here. So observe, as we go that way, they're getting bigger. As we go this way, they're getting smaller. So to find the biggest number, or the smallest number I should say, I need to compare each value in here. So here I can see they're all the same. So they're all equally as big. So I look at the next one down. Now I need to look for the smallest number here. So I've got a 0 here and a 0 here. So these two are both equally small. So I'm going to look at the next two again. I've got a 1 here and a 0 here. This one's clearly smallest. So this number is going to be the smallest number. 2.006. So 2.006 comes first. 2.006. Okay. And then when I had those two choices, I've done that one. So this one is the next smallest. 2.01. Okay. I've done these two. Now let's look again. So I've got a 2, these are all the same. I've got a 4, a 1 and a 4. This digit is the smallest, so that's going to be the next smallest number, 2.14. So 2.14. Okay. Done this one. I've now got a choice of 2.45 and 2.405. So the units are both the same. The tenths are both the same. We look at the hundredths. The 0 is the smallest digit here, so this is the next smallest number. So my next smallest is 2.405, which leaves me with 2.45 as my final biggest number. Okay, so doing the same principle, I can do the same with number 4. Now this time, if I'm happy, I don't have to put them in place values, I can just look at them. So they all have the same starting digit, so I'm going to look at the next one. I have a 7, a 6, a 6, a 0 and a 9. So that 0 was the smallest one there, so I've got 0.099 first. I've done that one. I now compare again. I've got a 7, a 6, a 6 and a 9. I've got 2 6s here, so I now look at the next digit along. I've got a 6 and a 0, so that's the next smallest. 0.608. That one's done. Okay, I was comparing these two, so that one must be the next smallest. Next biggest, I mean. 0.668. I've now got 2 more choices. 0.7, 0.9. So the 7 is the next smallest number, so it's 0.76. Finishing off with 0.909. Okay. Last one. Estimate the reading on each of the scales. I must be careful with my units. So this is between 2 and 3, and it's halfway between, so it's 2.5 kilograms. Okay, because it's halfway between. Next one. Now, you might be tempted to say this is halfway, but you see it's a little bit less than that. It looks more like a third of the way. Yep, I would say that's a third of the way. So you could say 1 1/3 or 1.3 recurring kilograms. Okay, because it's a third of the way, so 1.3 recurring. Or you can say 1 1/3. Either are okay. Okay, this one, this is very much an estimate. So here it's just slightly smaller than 4 kilograms. So I could say that's just smaller than 4, 3.9 kilograms. If you said 3.8, that's okay. Anything less than that's probably a bit too much. Okay, so 3.9 kilograms, it's just smaller than 4. Okay, this one. I think that's halfway between 10 and 20. And I know halfway between 10 and 20 is 15 kilograms. Okay, now we're getting a little bit trickier. So I'm going to split this into equal pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would say that's about a quarter of the way through. So I need to split this distance here into 4. So the distance between 300 and 400 is 100. So if I split 100 into 4 equal pieces, each of these pieces are worth 25. Okay, so 25, 50, 75, and then 400. So this is going to be 325 kilograms. Okay, and last one. I'm going to try and split this as best I can into pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's all very much an estimate here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So here, I need to split this distance, which is 10. So I beg your pardon, 20. Because 40 to 60 is 20. So I want to split 20 into 5 pieces. So in other words, 20 divided by 5. Each piece is worth 4. So it's going to be 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60. So that is worth 56 kilograms. And that is the conclusion of your homework. If you're having any trouble with any bits of those, make sure you come and see me and I can assist you with those. Thank you very much.